Hey everyone, my name's Austin. I'm a senior product designer at GitLab, working in the compliance group. So this week, as I was going through my catch-up, there are a few things that I also wanted to share back that I was able to get to, or had unique learning that was somewhat around UX. So the first thing I want to share is I finished up with my last piece of OKR work for the quarter, and that was to synthesize the results from the UX scorecard that was done by Daniel Fosco, and then share the recommendation issues for that. So I've done that. TLDR, we're aware of a lot of the changes we need to make. It's just really a matter of prioritization. I think the one thing that I learned from it is we could do a better job including tech writing in the messaging that we record in our audit events, and that might help alleviate some of the readability issues that users might run into when just trying to read the actual log itself. Furthermore, we have a design pod that's trying to address role-based access control struggles. So we're kind of familiar with this even from our perspective of how we limit certain features to the owner role, but not every organization wants it just like, constrained to being an owner or an administrator. Maybe they want to give their auditor a specific role, or maybe they do want to give their developers a specific role. And so with that, they're trying to figure out how to address that problem. One piece I'm trying to also vocalize there is we do try and track users' changes in permissions. So if it gets more granular, like developers can be given more permissions within its own role, that will probably need to be added as an audit event as well, if it does get to that point. I also noticed there are a few things that were kind of off about the monospace class. I'll just open up the summary real quick just to help illustrate. So open this up to help make a change. We're currently putting like all branches in monospace, but not actually the branch name. So I think that's actually reversed. I was able to fix it for approval rules. It was a little too fancy for me in the view file for status check, so couldn't quite figure it out. If you want to help me out, that's cool. If not, I'll ping another engineer to help me. I also discovered that I frequently will just call something a dropdown, but I've realized, like in Storybook, we call those things very differently. So it's not always a dropdown. Sometimes it's actually a form select. And so I'm going to be better about defining that either in my designs or really when articulating that for front end. So hopefully it's less annoying and it sets the same expectation for what we'll see in the change. And lastly, the date range picker is getting some love, so we're just kind of going through some ideation on the UX side to try and bring in a handful of improvements to it. So that'll both be for the existing component, but we're even looking into ways that we could perhaps even evolve it for the future, which would luckily mean that we'd have a better component for audit events because that's a big driver for how users interact with our audit events page. With that, have a good weekend.